My name is Victoria L., and I am your Chicago online principal. Today, I just wanted to share just a tad bit of information that I acquired this weekend in meeting with two of my colleagues. I had a great opportunity just to have a discussion. They're educators, and of course, we had education talk. So, our topic of discussion was the power of teams. These young ladies had an opportunity to work together for 7 or 8 years, teaching the seventh grade, and they just wanted to share how important it was for them to have a team. And so I just want to give you a couple of tips on what every school leader should know, or what teams every school leader should have in their building. And we'll go from there. First, I want to share like the benefit of the team. Some of the burning things that they talked about was the ability to support the whole child. A lot of times when you're just a teacher in the classroom, it is really difficult to just to really touch base and get know all the intricate parts of the students, because your class is probably flooded with 25 to 30 students at a time. When you have a team, those things that you don't pick up about a student, another teacher will. You guys will meet and you will talk about it, put together a plan for a student in particular if one is required, and you really get to support the child holistically, including academics, social emotional, culture wise, family wise. You just build such a more intricate relationship with your students when you have a team. A few other things that they touched on is that when you have a team, you actually have someone that you can build a relationship with, and you have someone you can lean on. So when it's time to have a thought partner, or it's time to like problem solve, you have a team or a group of people around you that you could pose those questions to, instead of having to run an administration the entire time. So that is a huge win for every school leader, to try to galvanize teams to be able to allow them to problem solve amongst each other. Other thing they talked about is how in the midst of problem solving, having more brains in a room will actually help you do that. Instead of all of the weight being on the teacher, in particular one teacher, they have someone or a group of people that they can say, hey, I have this situation, can you help me problem solve around that? And that's just amazing. And the last thing that they talked about was like when they had those ask of the school leader, or from the network itself, and things that need to be executed. It is way more power to have more people, to have this just one person trying to execute these asks. So that was a really great to hear from them in regards of like why it's important to have school teams, and why it's important to have school leaders support school teams within the building. So in the midst of that, I did some deep thinking, and I was like, what are the top 5 teams that every school leader should ensure that they have in their school, especially at the top of the school year, right? So I'm going to run down those really quick. The first one that I want to talk about is a leadership team, right? A leadership team is a key group of people that support the school leader in making decisions, problem solving, and just supporting the overall strategic plan of the school year. They take on different roles within the school, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like an assistant principal. You can have a teacher, which is strongly suggested to have teachers on a leadership team, parent on a leadership team. There's no requirement for who you have, as long as they're willing to support and do the work, right? That's the first thing. The second team in particular, that I believe every school should have some form of fashion, and that is a grade level team. And basically these are grade levels, or they're cluster 7th grade teachers, 6th grade teachers, whatever grade level that you have in your building. A cluster of those teachers get together to discuss and support one another as a grade level team. So this is a team that I was speaking of my colleagues. One was a math teacher, one at the time was a reading teacher. They had a science and social study teacher on the team. So they would get together as a 7th grade cohort grade level team, and they will problem solve and support the students, problem solve around the students they were supporting. So grade level teams are key to school. The third team in particular I wanted to share with you are content teams. Now, I'll be honest, All schools can't or struggle with scheduling grade level teams and content teams, because that means that sometimes you just don't have the capacity in your school. But I would say between grade level teams and content teams, you need to choose one. That will give teachers the opportunity to meet, and then they can pile in whatever it is they need to meet about in that grade level and or content team. So a content team is a group of teachers that teach the same subject. They get together and they talk about strategies, teaching strategies, curriculum, assessments, and all of those things in their meeting. And it actually allows them to, it's a great team for school leaders to join in to help support them as they begin to lesson plan and push through the curriculum, especially if they have questions and they're trying to problem solve around some things. So that's number 3. So we have leadership team, grade level team, content team, right? There's one team I'm going to like put together in a group because sometimes you just have to do that. And that is a parent, student, and staff celebration team / committee. May not be a team, you may want to call them committee. And this team in particular is created to put together the celebrations of the people that support the school. Principals, school leaders do not always have the time to put together celebrations. It would be great if we could add that to our platform or to our schedule to be like, hey, we're going to schedule this and schedule that. But I'm sure there are people on the team that are able to do that work a lot more efficiently than a school leader can. So just put a group of, polls that we need a celebration committee, have some people sign up for it, and put the task with them to celebrating our families, our students, and our staff members. And I guarantee you the year will go a lot more smoother when people identify and recognize that they're being acknowledged for the great work that they're doing. All right? And the last team, which is number 5, I'm torn because there is another team that I want to add, but I'm not going to add it. But the last team I would say is the MTSS team. And this would include academic and behavior. All of our scholars need to be supported. Every student should have an extra tier of support, whether they are a high-level student that means they need to continue to be pushed or they're going to get bored, or whether they're a student that have many challenges in different subjects. So I would encourage you to really, really task yourself with an MTSS team to begin to identify who those students are, being able to follow the data around those students and ensure that those students are getting the supports that they need, all right? Those are my top 5 teams that every school leader should ensure that they have. Again, leadership team, MTSS team, and I just messed the order of this up. Parent, family, student celebration team, grade level team, and a content team. Thank you so much, and you will have a great day. Again, my name is Victoria L., and I am your Chicago Online Principal. Have a good one.